The time has come, and I have arrived. 50,000 subscribers. Thank you.
Kaiju, Turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey collectors, it's Steven here, and welcome to another video. Today, as I've said, and as the title states, 50,000 subscribers. Thank you. 50,000 little pats on the head, little smoochies to you, and I can only say thank you so much for helping out and watching the videos. It's been a tremendous last, a decade and change, and there's been a lot that's gone on from subscriber number 1 prior to when this channel was STR, because it was just like, a personal channel, which admittedly I still use for that, but nevertheless, all the way up until where we are today. So I hit 50,000 subscribers just a little while ago, a few days ago, and numbers are still going up, which is good. Like I'm going to say at the end, I never thought I would be here, but here I am regardless, and I thought to celebrate, we would do a top 10 of my favorite kaiju figures of all time. Not just my top 10 SH Monster Arts, my top 10 X Plus, all time. Now, they're not going to be in any particular order, so it's not going to be like the last one that you're going to see is my absolute favorite, or the first one you're going to see is my least of my top 10. They're all my favorite children, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them in no particular order. But of course, you will see my number 1 fave. On top of that, what I do want to note is there are going to be, I actually happen to talk to some people about this list, and they're more so modern leaning for my choices. And the reason for that is, I think of it sort of like music, if you will, okay? Yes, there are a lot of oldie goldies that are out there that I really do love and enjoy myself that didn't make it onto the list. But when I think about my all-time favorites, if you think about, let's say, the SH Monster Arts Kong, right? The 2005 Kong, the Peter Jackson Kong, I really love that, and when it came out, I thought it was fantastic as well. However, as time has gone on, though that figure is still great, and I did gas it up back then as being fantastic, this one completely overshadows in terms of how awesome of a figure it is. So while that is still good, this one is better. So when we have a top 10 favorites of mine, I have to take that into consideration. So there are plenty of other ones that I still love and are still great, but when we think about, like, let's say music, there are bands and there are artists who at the time, they made some amazing music and they painted some particularly amazing pieces with the tools that they had. But for personal taste, there may be some things that are available now that artists have now that artists back then didn't have, and because of the materials that are able to be used, we like those things more. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Beast Deities Goku Black there because he's a cool dude, and he's my current favorite Dragon Ball figure. He'll get a good review soon. I got a series in mind. Let's start with the first one. Alright, so the first one that we'll cover on the list, just so for my sanity, we can get it out of the way, is literally going to be the Jada RC Godzilla Evolved. Just look at this. Look at how cool this is. We've got the walk forward, right? And then this is apparently tail wag only, and this is not to help him move forward at an angle. But anyway, yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, just think about how cool it was way back in the day to have an RC Godzilla if you lived in Japan. The kids there, for us in the US, think about it like this. You can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, and you can pick up a now discounted, or maybe it's at MSRP, $45 RC Godzilla compared to a $75 SH Monster Arts Godzilla. Anyway, this is sweet, and what I think is the sweetest about it is not only does it roar as I'm trying to talk over it, but you also do have the water is out of it, a light up dorsal plate, and atomic breath feature. All I know is that if I were a kid and I had this, I would be over the moon. Didn't have access to something like this when I was a youngin', and even as an adult, I am losing my mind. This obviously has to take a spot on one of my top 10 favorite kaiju action figures. Alrighty folks, let's keep it going. Maybe the same color-ish and lights. Second on the list will be the gigantic series D for Real Shin Godzilla. Maybe flip the gigantic series and D for Real around. Anyway, while the smaller one does look great and is a fan favorite, the gigantic one just captures the concept better, I feel. And the light up feature with fresh batteries, mind you, is amazing. While not featured here, the X Plus Brainiacs did include a tail support stand to prevent sagging, which does actually work. Mine has been on display since it came out and I got it. At Publish, unfortunately, I have not reviewed this one, but I plan to soon. And for those of you who want it, here's number 3. For the third one, the SH Monster Arts Rebirth Gamarra, one of the best figures in the line. In the swampy, iffy releases of poor quality control with joints and eye paint that have been out in the recent months, this recent release of Gamarra is amazing, and the only accessory he's truly missing is a fireball part. Alternatively, the 1996 Gamarra could be swapped in his place. Yeah, I know I said that I don't like honorable mentions, but if you make a list for me, I could literally swap either of these out and it would be basically the same. The 96 Gamarra comes with flight accessories, a fire attack, the fireball, and the mana cannon chest beam blast. What's not to love with either of these units? The Rebirth Gamarra I love just more because when you compare and contrast the other not good releases with this one, it really makes you appreciate diamonds in the rough. Fourth on the list, let's jump into the Monsterverse with some Monkey Time, the event-exclusive Kong 2021. I cannot speak highly enough of this release. I have literally slammed it down on this review table without it breaking. It's been widely available even to other countries. Go to Amazon right now. They literally ship globally, even if you are in Zimbabwe, and he comes with even more accessories than the original release, showing that when they want to, Tamashii Nations can listen to fans. I would argue not only is he one of my top favorite figures, but he's probably one of the best, if not the best, in the line. Seriously. And I actually did buy one. Yes. Hashtag continue the Monsterverse? Yes. Rest in peace to the SH Monster Arts. We'll see you again soon, but the HAA Kadora 2019 is amazing and I really love it. However, I will note there is a beam variant coming soon, and I have a feeling that one's going to be better. So perhaps I can just go ahead and say that one is going to be better here and will replace this, because normally HAA improves with repaints, unlike a certain other company. But notably, that repaint for the HAA Kadora is going to rejuvenate this sculpt with color. So, bring me more color, which is what the 6th entry on this list will be. It's going to be lit. It's going to be trendy. Haha, the Mondo Space Godzilla. Do I need to say anything else? Truly here. Do I? Look at it. It's lovely. And, as a note, I do hope that Super7 can bring the same heat to their upcoming Space Godzilla sculpt. For this particular release, though, it just nails the feeling of nostalgia and what a lot of us kids who grew up with the Trendmasters figures, or even those who just admired the Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla poster, felt, and it also brings a nice spin on the classic take. Now, I think we've had enough Godzilla here, because this is a Kaiju list. So for the 7th entry on my top 10 list, here is NECA's Otachi, specifically the land version. She's just engineered so well. The paint is amazing for the original MSRP back when it released. They integrated the opening and closing gimmick on the tail so great, it just clears hard. Any fan of Kaiju action figures should have this one, especially if they get the bigger scale action figures. Of course, now it goes for astronomical on the aftermarket, but if you can, I think you should. Now, remember I made mention of Super7? We have, and yes, I'm serious, we have to have them on this list with a unique green monster, the Thirsty for Blood San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Wave 1 was not good, we can agree on that, but this came out at the same time as Wave 1, with amazing paint apps and box artwork. It's just a proverbial chef's kiss. Artist's kiss? Cool bug factus. Kyle from Super7 Fame designed the figure and the box, and he basically put it all together. And he got Art Adams to sign his box for one of his figures at SDCC. And Art got Kyle to sign his box because of how impressed he was with the product. That's not a stamp of approval. I can't tell you what is. But are we done with Super 7? Nah. The 1200 degrees Celsius, it's Meltdown. It's Meltdown. Meltdown Godzilla is just such a cool concept, and I believe it's the first of its kind. It's just awesome. As a one-off, a part of your proper versus Destroya collection, whatever, this release just looks amazing. It looks fire. Some find the brighter colors to be a bit high in contrast and kind of clashes, but honestly, having it in hand, it just blends very, very well, and I am so happy that I got it ahead of aftermarket prices because him and Destroya go for quite a pretty penny. Speaking of pretty pennies, that's what this last slot is going to be really for. And as they say, last but most certainly not least, Kaiju. Yes, just go into a little bit past the hour mark. I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes into Godzilla against NECA Godzilla. You can thank me later. I think we all say Kiryu. But anyway, this one is the soul of Choken with all the bells and the lights and the whistles, and it's a stunning piece. I love it. I did pay full price. It has since gone down at several retailers, which is a shame because that indicates many people did not get it. But if you want something in the SH Monster Art scale, just like Gamarra, I could equally swap this out with one of the other SH Monster Arts figures. More so specifically, if I had to only pick one, obviously the Shinagawa Final Battle version. Same sculptor, by the way. Tamashii Nations just did this version of NECA Godzilla right, and yes, the Soul of Choken is a completely different line, size, scale, all that, but if you pick only one of them, you can't go wrong. And well, there you have it. 50,000 subscribers and my top 10 favorite Kaiju figures. And again, fun bestialities, not Goku Black, right? Okay. So, again, I just want to give 50,000 and some change. I think it's like 40 at the time of recording this. Thank yous to everyone. Just a little smooch on the top of your head. Now, I know my channel says it was started in 2007. With the first upload for the STR version of this channel was at the end of 2013, end of August 2013. And this is really cool because back then I was like, whatever. And now here I am. And honestly, I was hoping that I would get here sooner, but I got here, period. And it's fun because now I'm approaching things a bit differently and it's more fun than it's ever been. So I guess my only acceptance speech is I've got some neat stuff coming and some neat opportunities happening for the channel that I think you will like. I'm going to be broadening horizons a little bit for what we can do here. Some fun Dragon Ball things. I've got some video game stuffs. I'm going to be focusing on some Marvel things as well. I got some spider dudes that we're going to be bringing in here. That's fun. And that's about all that I have. I've got my top 10 list here, and I'm having fun. Thank you. I hope that you enjoy your collection. I hope that you're having a great time. I hope that I've helped inform your purchase decision. It's not my job to tell you what to think or what to do. That's really the goal of the channel. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.